Soulja Boy, y'all gotta give him a little bit of latitude because he a victim. And he been ran through quite a bit. They was playing tapes, and then the owner of the house pulled out Soulja Boy tapes. That's why he's always able to call other on being a swish. Birds of a feather flock together.
That in the closet is real scary, you know what I'm saying? So we got to get into the seriousness of it, and it's just not fair to, other people. And then that spreads because that girl that you might be fooling might leave you and go find another dude who ain't gay, give him the disease, and he go cheats on her.
You think that you've worked with a gay rapper?
Yeah, man. And gay, not being just full out gay, but hiding it, trying to pretend like he, loves girls and live the rap lifestyle, but really he's a man fan.
After being quiet for a while, Jagaur Wright is back, and let me tell you, she's not holding anything back. She's serving tea piping hot, and it's all about those so-called straight rappers who were secretly letting Diddy have his way with them at those infamous freak-off parties. Yes, you heard me right. These men, who built entire careers acting macho, were allegedly being passed around like party favors behind closed doors. Jagaur claims that Diddy didn't just leave these men unable to walk after his rough sessions, but that he also allegedly left them with some nasty STDs. And the whispers say HIV was one of them. Can you believe that? Take Meek Mill, for example. Ever since he supposedly got involved with Diddy, he hasn't been the same. Remember that video of him cooling his backside in the pool while Diddy praised him like some kind of boy toy? Now, with Jagaur dropping these receipts, people can't help but connect the dots. Jagaur has been exposing these DL rappers for ages, but this new twist, that some of them may have caught HIV directly from Diddy, is enough to send shockwaves. One of the first times she spilled this type of tea was when she revealed what Diddy's own former lawyer allegedly told her, that she walked in on Christopher Williams performing oral acts on Diddy, all in exchange for a record deal. Can you even process that? And just when you...
Christopher Williams, I don't know, I guess he wanted to sign. I don't know what happened. But Puff was supposed to be giving him a demo deal, and he gave him a demo deal, and I guess it was supposed to turn into an album deal, which that never happened. But this young woman walked in to get approval on some paperwork, see. And when she walked in, the door wasn't locked, so she didn't think twice about just walking in. And when she walked in, she saw Christopher Williams performing fellatio on Puff. Now, from what she said to me, it was disturbing because, they didn't stop. She just walked out. And she just kept her head down at the office the rest of the day, I believe it was. And I don't think it was at the end of business day that day, but I think it was the following day. He came into her office and was like, yeah, so you came in there, so what? What you gonna do? You wanna say something? And she was like, oh no, she was like, I just don't understand why you left the door unlocked. If you were in there doing that, why would you leave the door unlocked? He said, I'll do whatever the I want to do in my building. And I just don't know. He was like, it's power, see. I can make a man, he said, if I can make a man suck my I can make people do anything.
Thought it couldn't get messier, here comes another bombshell. Busta Rhymes' former bodyguard stepped up and said Busta would pay large sums of money just to have gay men in his VIP section. Like, what? All this time, no one was really checking to see if these rappers were living double lives, but now the receipts are flying left and right.
All my promoter homies would always say, man, we gotta bring some we got to bring some, what they call them, I'm not going to say it on here. They call them fun boys. They'll say, we got to have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Because, I bodyguarded for Ghostface Killer before, you feel me? And being around him, you hear things, you feel me? I'm like, damn. My auntie like the biggest Busta Rhymes fan, you feel me? Like, every cookout, she playing it. All his little fast rapping, all of that, him and Craig Mack playing that. Bro, on my soul, I'm out with a group of people. At this time, I was with Don Benjamin. You familiar with him?
No, never heard of him.
Model dude, like a model guy. He be doing like some rapping and stuff. His name Don Benjamin. I'm out with Don Benjamin. And the club we ended up going to, Busta Rhymes in there. So it was a little lawyer guy that was with us. And the little lawyer guy we was with, he was a gay dude, super cool, feel me, good guy. Bro, Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad. Like, what? pulled him to the section, like through the rope, and tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't come with us. Well, I know he was in the little group. So if I go out with somebody, like a group of people, I try to make sure everybody get there together and leave together. No, he stayed with them. He stayed in there with them, bro. For sure, bro.
I'm walking across the street and Busta Rhymes just grabbed my hand. And he holding my hand. Now, I ain't know it was Busta at first. You know, Busta Rhymes tall. I'm sure I came up to about right here. So the first thing I noticed was this big flip mode chain that was blinding me. So I look at the chain and I'm like, and I look up, I'm like, oh, what's up, Busta? What's up? Now he holding my hand the whole time. I'm like, what's up, man? He like, what you doing? And I was like, oh, me and my people, we about to go to this club around the corner. What's up, man? You know, and then I noticed throughout my peripheral vision, the side eye, this big bodyguard in black. Just standing there, you know, looking around, you know, looked at me, you know, still looking around. Meanwhile, Busta still got my hand in his hand. And he says, you know, I'm about to go in this club. You know, we got a section. You know, you can come in with me if you want. And I'm like, word, for real? Like, that's what's up. Like, he was like, yeah. I was like, well, I gotta, you know, tell my people. I was like, I come in, you know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, just let me know, you know, tell them that you coming in there to meet with me and come on up. And I was like, bet.
But back to Jaguar, she wasn't finished yet. Nope, not even close. She also accused 50 Cent of hooking up with Soulja Boy back when Soulja was just starting out in the game. Now listen, I don't know where Jaguar got that information, but she was speaking boldly. No allegedly, no hesitation, just straight up calling it out. And
I want to say this about Soulja Boy. Y'all gotta give him a little bit of latitude because he a victim. And he been ran through quite a bit. They was playing tapes, and then the owner of the house pulled out Soulja Boy tapes. That's why he's always able to call other on being a swish. Birds of a feather flock together.
But still, Jaguar kept going. She came for the Smiths too. According to her, Diddy and Will Smith forced both Meek Mill and Brescia Gray into a freak-off. Can you imagine? She even said that Will lured Brescia in under the disguise of mentorship. But instead of helping the young man's career, things allegedly went left real quick. Jaguar swears that at one point, both Brescia and Meek were literally screaming and running from Will's house after Will and Jada allegedly messed with them during one of these freaky encounters. This is too wild.
They're both bisexual. They do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bashir Gray left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
Now, let's circle back to Meek Mill. At first, folks thought Meek was being forced into this madness, but after some digging, it turns out he might not have been so unwilling after all. Word on the street is that Meek was enjoying those sessions. In fact, he was even named in one of the lawsuits against Diddy as someone who had allegedly hooked up with him. To make things worse, an audio clip leaked online, with people claiming it was Meek and Diddy together. And in that clip, you could hear Meek screaming in the background. Can you imagine how disturbing that must have been to hear? And oh, don't think Meek is the only one. People have been side-eyeing the game too. The game once admitted that instead of working in the studio with Diddy like they were supposed to, Diddy was flying him around the world, partying with him, buying him jewelry, showering him with expensive gifts, and spoiling him like crazy. But their album never saw the light of day. And of course, people started raising eyebrows because those trips often landed in Atlanta, and y'all know the whispers about men who constantly make solo trips to Atlanta. The speculation practically writes itself. Then there's YK Osiris. Oh boy, this one is messy. Back in 2021, rumors started spreading that Diddy had flown YK out to Jamaica with the promise of boosting his career. But what actually happened? Well, YK himself added fuel to the fire when he reposted a shirtless picture of Diddy in a pool, captioned with prayer hand emojis. And if that wasn't suspicious enough, he also posted a photo of himself lying naked while getting a massage with the caption, "Listening to that Diddy, eating that good fruit in the beautiful weather. Like, hello, could you make it any more obvious?" And then YK's Usher's baby mama just blew the whole thing wide open. She hopped on her IG stories and said point blank, "Stop asking me what happened with my baby daddy. I caught him with a man." Can you imagine the drama that caused online? Fans went into a frenzy. But wait, it gets darker. Usher's name came up too. Rumors say that Diddy infected Usher with herpes when Usher was just 14 years old. At that time, Usher was staying at Diddy's house for a mentorship program. Can you imagine being a kid and caught up in that? The rumors hit even harder when an email supposedly leaked from one of Kim Porter's book publishers, claiming the book had details about Diddy's gay relationships, secret footage, the men he slept with, and even STDs, including Diddy allegedly giving Usher one. And here's the kicker. Back in 2017, a woman actually sued Usher, claiming he gave her herpes and never told her he was diagnosed back in 2009. She even tested positive after experiencing symptoms. Now people are connecting dots and saying, maybe Usher got it from Diddy way back when he was just a teen. Now listen, nobody's dragging Diddy or any of these rappers for being gay. That's not the real issue here. The problem and the reason why people are so furious is because these stories aren't about love or consent. They're about power, manipulation, and men being forced into situations they never wanted. And on top of that, the whispers that Diddy may have passed around serious STDs like party favors, that's beyond scandal. It's straight up dangerous. And the internet is shook. Some fans are saying they can't even listen to their favorite hip-hop tracks anymore without feeling sick, knowing all this alleged darkness might be hiding behind the music. Others are pointing out that Jagaur Wright isn't the only one who's been screaming these truths. Remember Superhead? She spilled years ago about DL rappers and Diddy, but nobody listened. Now suddenly the puzzle pieces are falling into place. Jagaur has been talking about this industry since day one, and maybe that's why she was pushed out. Maybe she didn't get blackballed. Maybe she walked away because she couldn't stomach it anymore. But with her back and louder than ever, the big question is, do you believe her? Do you think Diddy really infected these rappers with HIV? Do you think all these men were really being passed around at freak-offs? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this tea is too hot to sip alone. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.